Hi again. Look at these. Aren't they beautiful? They're heavy too. They're brass and the glass is very thick. I worry about breaking them. In fact, one of them is cracked down here, but I glued it back together. I keep waiting for a place to put these, in my house where they'll look really nice, because you can screw them down and they have a little switch on them right here to turn them on and off. They just need to be wired someday. Now let's move these to the side. Again, these came off the Montez off the island of Terceira in the Portuguese, known as the Azore Islands. That's where these came from. Anyway, I like them a lot. They sit on my desk along with other mementos, along with my coffee. I often use a thermal cup for my coffee because it keeps it hotter longer. Maybe you want to try that. Anyway, I wanted to talk for a moment about something that a lot of beginning writers struggle with, and that's POV, point of view. The point of view is the perspective from which you're going to tell this story. Who's telling the story? There's generally three types: the first, the second, and the third. The first and the third are used most often. The second is not. Let me explain. A first-person narrative is when the person telling the story tells the story. It's very often used in memoir, for example, in a story about my life. Here in the beginning, I start with, in the 7th summer of my life, at the dawn of my self-awareness and comfortable with my island universe, my parents prepared us to leave. Leaving was something we would do often, I was told, as we followed our father's military career around the world. That's first-person narrative. Second person, and with first-person narrative, you often use words like I and we and me and us. Second-person narrative, a little more obscure. You don't see it very often. It's common to be used in the types of stories known as a choose-your-own-adventure kinds of stories work with that. And in the second narrative, you use the word you. You came to a such and such. You went around the corner. You saw the person over there. It's not as common. Third person is very common. I used to think of it as an omnipotent, an all-seeing eye kind of point of view. The action, what characters do, and what they say, I think, develops the story better, for me anyway. That a character shouldn't tell necessarily. But if you put them in situations where they have to act, then that tells us something about who they are, the way they think, the way they behave, what kind of person they are. The narrator in third person is not part of the story. So something like Omega Sisters, where I started with Margot sat in her mother's chair. I'm standing off and looking at this person sitting in that chair as the writer. That's third person, point of view. You use words like he, she, they, and him. Anyway, a little bit about point of view. All right, have a good day. Bye now.